Major headlines. In fact, people like I'm getting to the point now where I'm not posting about it anymore because now there's just too many studies. Pet food industry recently posting about microplastics now being an even bigger problem. Now, for the little bit of time there was an argument that microplastics weren't that big of a deal in pet food. It has gotten so scary. It has gotten so scary. I think the latest post that I shared pertaining to canned food, it can be up to 3,600 pieces
Holy
of
cats.
plastic a day for 70-pound dogs.
Crazy.
3,600 pieces of plastic a day. Um, this was posted by the pet food industry, and we've already posted about this. We're a little bit faster than people here in the Inside Scoop, but hey. New peer-reviewed study finds that several UK dog foods and hedgehog food products contain microplastics. 76% of commercial products that were tested all had microplastics. This is kind of old news. Let's talk about some new news because we have even more studies being published. This is a brand new one. In environmental pollution that was published, the occurrence and characterization of microplastics in dry pet food, investigating geographical variations between Europe and South American markets. So they wanted to take two polar opposite
Mhm.
sides of the world
Yeah.
to see, is this just a small problem? So
Yep.
this was a peer-reviewed study published in Environmental Pollution. Researchers tested commercially dry dog food and cat foods, but here's the deal. They also tested in bulk, which is very popular in some parts of the world. I know in the United States, we've talked about this.
Really?
There are some US
Yeah, the
companies that will
bins.
put them in the bins
Yep.
and then you kind of go in with a bag and you pull the lever and you can fill to the desire that you want of food. And I
Yeah.
know they marketed it as, we talk about every week about try not to buy the biggest bag of food unless you're going to properly store it because obviously it can go rancid on you and people all want a value. So they get the biggest bags possible. Those bags go bad. According to the scientists, these bulk purchasing is a massive problem. So researchers found microplastics in dry foods from both countries, confirming that contamination is widespread and global. Dry food sold loose without sealed packaging contains significantly more microplastics than sealed bag. This suggests that storage
Mm.
and handling after manufacturers can add contamination. So in South America, they are finding that the average dog will consume almost 500 pieces of microplastic per day. And in Spain
Wow.
right now, 400 microplastics per day in the average bag. Here's what's crazy. Nearly half of these particles that are being found in microplastics, Karen, are about 44% measured less than 20 microns, making them small enough that they're able to cross the gut barrier and enter the body,
Ooh.
according to the study. 70 to 80% of these microplastics that are being found in pet food are tiny fibers similar to those shed from clothing, packaging, and industrial materials. They are finding, how we talked about the levels of plastic. I know we posted on the Proactive Pause page, you have there's P5 and P4 and so on and so forth, the rating to plastic.
Yep.
They're finding all numbers, all levels. So there's PET that are used in bottles, polyethylene, polypropylene, PTFE, PDMS, and they also detected PPB, benzyl butyl phthalate, a plasticizer associated with endocrine disrupting effects in laboratory settings. Whew. Another study of the multiple studies that we have being published right now with the big issue of microplastics. We've talked about in the Inside Scoop, things that you can do, obviously, every single week. You've got a product out there, Liver Lift, which can help assist the organs, enhancing the
Yep.
detox. It's a big problem.
I think if you are feeding commercial food, Rodney, you should be thinking about doing something in terms of detoxification, not just from plastics, from advanced glycation end products, from colors, emulsifies, dyes, those extra additives that we have to put into ultra processed food to keep them stable and safe are still an additional burden for your animal's body. And so doing something for detoxification is a very wise idea. You have
Okay.
a healthy animal, not dealing with any specific exposures, but you were wondering about pulse therapy of detoxification, like giving Liver Lift or any detox product, Milk Thistle, a week out of the month. Let me find that. That is not only A-OK, that is what back in the day when the only exposure that I felt my clients were had with their dogs was a monthly heartworm pill. That was my detox recommendation. Give the heartworm prevention and then give something for detoxification for a week after. And that's it's called pulsed therapy, which means you give the supplement for a short period of time. You don't give it in perpetuity. You don't freak out if you wake up and forget a dose that day. It's no big thing. You doing a week out of the month is absolutely a-okay. And that's pulse therapy. Giving a little bit of detoxification when you can is better than no detox. I do detox for my own body. I don't necessarily stay on a full spectrum of this amazing comprehensive detoxification protocol for my body either, but I do it pulsed therapy just as you are suggesting. Am I doing more harm than good just doing a week out of the month? Absolutely not. That you do seasonal detox, that's something that a lot of holistic veterinarians even do for their own bodies. Seasonally, as the season change, we detox our own bodies, and then we do a little bit more of a twice a year, 1 month long detox. It's a great strategy for cleaning up stuff. In the summer, we have more glyphosate exposures. All of us do. And then in the winter, we have more, indoor from central air blowing dust around our house. We have a lot more of the dust-based chemicals that are coming in.